Hey, so I wanted to give an update on how I've been feeling, which has been pretty good. I've been having a good week. I have been in this gradual recovery since I had the plasmapheresis done in February, about 6 weeks ago. And it's been an interesting time. I've been very hopeful from the get-go with the plasmapheresis that it's something that could kick my disease, CIDP, which stands for chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. Mouthful. I'm been very hopeful that it put this autoimmune disease into remission. And it's too soon to say if that's the case, but if nothing else, it is helping the IVIG treatments that I receive every 2 weeks to be more effective. And I had an immediate loading dose of IVIG after the plasmapheresis, and then I had 2 more of those regular treatments since that time in the last 6 weeks. And I have really had a good experience. The other thing we did is we slowed down the infusion rate on the IVIG from, I was at the 150 was my max, and we dropped that down actually only, I think, to about 140, sometimes 120. I tried to stay at 125, but my infusion takes so long that the nurses aren't available. So I think we upped it to 140 both times. And just that little difference at least has reduced my headaches and reduce the side effects and reduce the recovery, which was starting to become an ordeal where I would have IVIG and then I'd have almost a week of recovery, and then I'd start declining again a couple days later and only have a couple somewhat decent days. It was kind of a bad pattern. I'm finding now that I'm still having the 2-3 days of recovery, but they're mild. It's a little bit milder, and that third day seems to be pretty good. So that's nice. I think that I'm noticing improvements in my strength. It is very, very gradual, but I think I'm feeling muscles that I forgot I had, particularly in my torso. I've been feeling muscles that I forgot were there, and I'm able to utilize them now, and that's making my like the way I'm holding myself is stronger. I am just kind of having a lot of different sensations I didn't have before. Like after my last treatment, I could suddenly feel my big toes, and I didn't even know I lost feeling in my big toes. It went away so gradually. A lot of times this has happened to me before, where I've gotten feelings back from the IVIG afterwards. I had a sensation return, or an area of my body that I started feeling, and I hadn't realized that I'd lost that sensation. For example, once I didn't realize that I had lost the ability to feel things like a breeze on my skin, on my legs, and then that returned. So I've been pretty excited, actually, and it's encouraging and gives me a lot of hope that I might have a really good response to the upcoming treatments and continue to get better and better now versus prior to plasmapheresis. It seemed like I was getting on average worse. I definitely was. I was slipping quite a bit, and I am just very hopeful and encouraged. I've definitely had some really bad days. It's not like I'm a superhero and just able to do anything a normal person can do. I'm still really really weak. I'm still fatigued easily. I still get this like feverish, sick feeling pretty often. I've also noticed there's something going on with, I've been in the house due to the quarantining and COVID and the safety concerns for me. And I've been noticing there's something else that seems like going on when I go outside. The few times I've gone out in my car, I've felt really sick the next day. And I noticed this like a month ago before the COVID restrictions started and before we knew that was a danger in our area. I'd gone to some doctor's appointments, and the next day I got really, really sick. And that's pretty normal, that when I have a day that I feel good, I go out and I do like some errands and stuff. I mean, that's been my norm for the last year or so. And then I crash after, and then I have a couple days of crashing. Well, I'm really curious right now because I'm curious there's something else going on possibly, because now that I'm home so much and I'm having good days, and then I stay home on those good days, I mean, maybe it's because I'm doing less. I'm not driving. It's not pushing me as hard. So I'm not crashing afterwards as hard, but it seems like when I go out of the house, the next day I get some other weird symptoms. Like I get super confused. Like I can't think. I'll try to make a video of it sometime. It's like I'm not myself. It's almost like a mild dementia. It's really, I used to get it all the time. And I still have a lot of trouble with getting confused and stuff now, like all the time. But on these particular days, it's been like severe. I can't keep track of basic things like, am I getting dressed right now? And it's kind of scary in a way. I think I normally chalk it up to just a high level of fatigue, or high pain as well can cause mental confusion. But I think there might be something else going on. The other thing is I'm getting really hot, flushed skin, almost like I'm sunburned all over. So I don't know if this is new. The hot, flushed skin feels new. Maybe it's something that's just due to the plasmapheresis. My doctors haven't been able to tell me anything about it, although they are running some tests for porphyria, and mainly doing that because I have constant abdominal pain and have some of the other symptoms of porphyria. We'll see. I would just be happy to find out, like to put a name on something else and know what the pattern is and know what I need to avoid just so I can feel better. If that were the case, it'd be really exciting because, I mean, yeah, I would love to go out in the sun, but if that's what I need to do to feel good, totally, I will not go out in the sun. Anyways, it's kind of weird living with diseases like this and not knowing all the time because they cluster. You tend to get one and then you get many more. My goal right now is to continue taking the time I need to recover from that huge hospital stay, to recover from my IVIG treatments each week, staying as calm as possible and low stress during this time this is a good time for healing and being really zen and happy. And it's a little hard with COVID stuff. COVID-19 and coronavirus has definitely caused some stress. But just gotta let that go. And breathing. Speaking of that, I'm doing the Wim Hof method again a little bit. I've only done it for 2 days, but it's really exciting that he put out a lot of his stuff for free for a little bit. So I'm using the app and doing that for free, and I'm really excited. It's actually a really great app. I think had I known how cool it was, I might have paid for that sooner. But yeah, Wim Hof is a method I learned in Iceland that it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, and by doing so calms your body's stress response. And that can include, they say, also calming the immune response and not having your system be overactive. So I'm doing this because this could be really important in fighting COVID-19. If and when I get that, odds are everybody's probably going to get it at some point or another. Unless we can make it, except for the few who are lucky and make it to the vaccine, which I kind of hope to be one. But I think that's one of the best things I can do to prepare myself is, no one knows if that's going to protect you from COVID-19, but I'm going to do everything I can. And it certainly did seem to help me when I was doing it, when I had the energy and strength to do it back in October. I feel like it did calm my body down. It did keep it in a calmer state. So if nothing else, kind of like a meditation that helps with that. As well as the cold water therapy and cold showers, which it's a lengthier video on how all that works. But I did a cold shower today, and it was definitely very cold. But it also did have a lot of energy today. So I don't know, maybe it's correlated, maybe it's not. Maybe I tend to do Wim Hof when I have a little more energy, so maybe that's why. But in any case, I don't think it can hurt. So I feel like it's a good thing I can do for myself. I think that's about it. I will wrap up this video now, but I appreciate you listening to my update, and I'm hoping for the best in the coming months. I'm hoping to keep getting stronger. We'll see. Also, I wanted to add in that I have, for better or for worse, gained about 15 pounds since I got home from the hospital. I don't know if you can tell, I'm less bony than I was at that time. I'm going to chalk it up to being a good thing. I have certainly significant digestive problems, and it doesn't really feel like my digestion has been much better. It's been, tons of pain and daily management and tons of time going into that still. But I must be absorbing more nutrients, and I must have more of an appetite than I had or something, because I've never eaten or I guess I have eaten this much, but I've never gained weight like this since I got sick. Maintaining my weight has sometimes been an issue. It's weird to be happy that I'm heavier, my clothes are tighter, but I kind of am. I don't necessarily love weight gain that I didn't choose. It kind of snuck up on me and surprised me. I got on the scale one day and I was like, how did I even do that? When did that happen? And it's been holding for over a week. I've been 15 pounds heavier than when I went into the hospital. So that's good news, I think. All right, for real. Thanks for watching.